All right, the team that everyone here is waiting to hear about. That's
And we close out with these books.
well, we got one more. We got one.
Oh, the Lions too.
One more. But the team that everybody wants to hear.
The Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the Lions.
Here comes all our comments.
We'll do a little bit about the Packers right now, and we had to listen from us right now. 11 picks. Now this feels like a Ziggy draft. So many throws at the dartboard.
It looks like a Ziggy draft.
But this was also a very Packer-esque draft in that not a lot of sexy picks. Like the Vikings, the Bears, they're taking Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy. Like they're making big splash plays that are going to alter the franchise. The Packers, as they usually do, go about their business. They fill the holes on their roster. They address the needs. A lot of people are kind of questioning it in the moment. You saw the Lions fan mocking the Packers fan on draft night. Well, maybe the only time you ever get to see the Lions mock the Packers. But a lot of times the Packers are made fun of for their picks because people don't really know a lot about their prospects, and then they wind up working out. So I like safety, O-line, and linebacker were their big issues. 8 of their first 9 picks hit those positions. I think overall, I'm imagining, Ziggy, that you loved this draft for Green Bay.
I'm of two minds about this draft, actually. I would not say I love it. I do like, I'll say when we're starting out with the picks, I do like the Jordan Morgan pick. He's not playing tackle at the next level. His pass pro is tough and he can't move quickly. His arms are short. But what they're going to do is put him inside at guard, and he's going to be the run blocking monster they need to unlock Josh Jacobs. So that's, I think, a perfectly fine pick. I like the second level defense needs some work. So you take Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard. Again, I worry about Cooper a little bit in terms of positional value, but he's a good player. Not a lot of complaints there. Marshawn Lloyd, I found really puzzling, actually. Packers fans in the comments sort of all offseason have been talking about how they're drafting Josh Jacobs to be that pass catching back that Aaron Jones could never be, right? But Marshawn Lloyd, like he's like the Aaron Jones replacement, I guess. He doesn't catch a lot of passes. He sort of just runs. But I don't know. Why are you signing Josh Jacobs to this kind of deal if you don't feel like Jacobs is going to be in there for the early downs? Otherwise, I don't know. There's Evan Williams is fine, I guess. There's those 6th and 7th round picks. Some of them will hit, some of them won't. But as you said, it's not a sexy draft, but the Packers don't need sexy. They've got the weapons. They've got the quarterback. What you need is a solid offensive line play. Hopefully they can improve the run blocking a little bit. Because the run blocking was good last year. The offense looked so much better. And when it wasn't good, you saw some disaster. And then the defense, you just hope that the new defensive coordinator fixes things. You can't spend another first-round pick on defense.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, so I have the same kind of takeaways. There's not too many team needs. I mean, they already addressed the big one with Xavier McKinney. Yeah, it's not a draft you look at up and down the board. It's like, this like you can easily say this is the worst draft in the NFC North, but I don't. They did what they had to do. I do like these 3 rookie selections, that safety. Now you pair them up with Adrian McKinney as well.
That's a point that I wanted to talk about. Is a lot of people, when you talk about the NFC North draft grades, a lot of them you'll see the Packers are probably, unless if someone hates JJ McCarthy, then the Vikings are last. But a lot of people will have the Packers probably like a B or somewhere around there. And the other teams are B plus, sometimes A minus, A, whatever it might be for Lions, Bears, and Vikings. But that's just because of the exact reason we said that the Packers didn't go and do anything like unbelievable.
They didn't have to.
But they did. And that's the thing. That's what's great. Like that's what the Packers fans will love about their team is they took care of what they had to. And ultimately, last year they had Darnell Savage, Jonathan Owens, Rudy Ford were top 3 safeties on that team. None of them are back. That room is completely different now with McKinney. And then you got 3 safeties between Bullard, Evan Williams, and Oladapo out of Oregon State here. So I think Green Bay fans are sitting back saying, all right, like the team's ready to go. Is there another hole on this Packer team, Ziggy, that you're waiting to be addressed?
I mean,
off the top of your head, I know I'm kind of throwing you on the spot here.
I know.
Is there anything that jumps out to you? Like you're going to need the corners to step up again. You can't have Jair and Eric Stokes stink like they have been, over the past.
Yeah, I mean, you worry about the secondary a little bit, right? But what the Packers' plan is this: they took a lot of players besides Morgan, the guard. They took a lot of players they're hoping will develop into useful guys for them. And otherwise, I think the offense you really have nothing to worry about. And on the defense, I think they're making the right choice to a certain extent. They brought in some relevant free agents, but you just have to hope that bringing in a new coach is going to help things out a little bit. You just can't keep investing every resource on that side of the ball when you've got a guy like Jordan Love, who you know that when you give him just a little bit of support, he's going to be really good.
That's what's so frustrating about Green Bay is that they've been investing everything on defense, but their offense is what's really taken off lately. They keep nailing these later round offensive players to the point now where, you said I don't think there's any hole left on that offense. I think the offense is ready to go. And now it's just a matter of like there's a reason that after taking Morgan, 1, 2, 3, 4 the next 5 picks were all defensive. So they do a great job. And if you go back and look at Packer drafts, they're consistently nailing these later round selections. I think they're in a great spot here now to sit back and say, okay, Jeff Hafley, take these guys, a lot of really talented guys. We know how many former first round picks there are. Take them. If you can get the defense to top 10 level now, this is a definite Super Bowl contending team. You don't even have to be top 10.
And a draft like this too, especially by a franchise like Green Bay, it lets you know that they're exactly where they want to be and that they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And we just brought it up. The only offensive players they drafted besides Marshall Lloyd at USC were offensive linemen. Then you went linebacker, safety, corner. And it's exactly what they had to do.
And people even like Jacob Monk, the other offensive lineman they went with. They said he's a great backup prospect.
When you're taking your backup running back in round 3, you don't really need much.
I actually want to see. So before we move on to Detroit, one guy that I definitely want, and I look, I'm not going to lie, I don't know too much. I haven't done too much digging on Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of A&M, but he's a faster linebacker, one of those guys now. And it's weird, college football. I was reading an article. And it's just talking about college football linebackers. You don't really see a lot of the big bruisers anymore, like the Patrick Willis types or Brian Urlacher. I know I'm talking Hall of Famers here, but you see a lot more of these kind of smaller speed linebackers. And
good job.
Yeah. And does it really translate? Who's the? I'm trying to remember. The Vikings just drafted someone out of Oklahoma. Why can't I remember his name? But like these guys who can just get all over the field. And Edgerrin Cooper seems to be one of those guys. A faster, smaller linebacker. But I want to see how, as a 45th pick is a pretty big investment in a player. I think he's someone to circle and say, like, okay, when we're looking at this rookie class, they put, top 50 pick is a lot. I want to see how he fits into that defense, how Jeff Hafley's able to use him, because linebacker is another position group. After letting go or losing Campbell, now that's somewhere where in Green Bay, that group as well is going to have a focus on it throughout the season. Edgerrin Cooper is someone that I'm just going to be paying attention to. All the other picks, I love the Bullard pick. The Morgan pick, I had no idea what was going on, and it was fun to make fun of Green Bay in the moment, but I'm sure he'll be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, I'm sure he will be. People were saying they should have gone after DeJean or something, but I'm sure.
Hey, a 6'5", 325 pound offensive tackle.